Okay, we're going to show you how to make this solar food dehydrator today. It's portable, weighs about 8 pounds, and takes about, depending on the intensity of the sun, about 8 to 10 hours of drying time. Those are the removable racks on the inside, and those slide right off or lift right out. You can put them in there. It's got these legs that rotate. You can adjust the height, and also folds up for storage. So on the back side there's an aluminum piece of metal. We got that from Amazon for about $16, and that's attached with some screws, some wood screws. And essentially, going layer by layer, we've got this sun tough clear plastic, and it comes in sheets of 26 inches by, I believe they're about 8 feet, and you can make about 2.5 out of each one of those sheets. And so we cut those with our skill saw, and you want to put that blade on reverse. Right now it's not on reverse, but you flip it over, and this is a small tooth blade, and it cuts right through there without any issues at all. And it helps to put two on top of each other if you've got them. So the first job is to cut this to a length of the 36 inches, and essentially the 36 inches comes from the bottom layer of this is where you're going to attach on the back side here of the aluminum sheet. That's going to be spray painted black, and you want to use kind of a high coat heating, and it'll be a flat black. It's pretty thin. It's 24 gauge, so it's clear on one side, flat black on the side that's facing the sun. So it gathers up the heat and concentrates the heat, and the heat gets really hot. That gets to be like 120 some degrees, and that radiates pretty close to the food. It's about a ½ inch from the food, and dries it pretty well. There's air circulating through the top here, and of course underneath the food rack it's got a piece of corrugated roofing that then circulates the air below it, and there's air coming in through the bottom. So that's the drying aspect, and should work in a hot, humid environment as well, so long as there's good circulation there. So we start off by cutting the 26-inch 3-foot sheets, basically 3 feet, and then we've got some sun tough, this is the horizontal wood closures, and I spaced out basically the roofing screws. So we put that on. So essentially you start by making the frame, and the frame is made out of 2x3 lumber, and that not only is adequate, but it's lighter than the 2x4. Costs about $3 for 8 feet. So you're making this outer frame. It's going to be 39 inches, and these two inner pieces are 27 inches. And then I put it together with some 2.5 inch decking screws. I countersunk them in there in these holes. Keeps it nice and solid. And so once that's done, we'll flip that over, and then we'll obviously won't do this on the cement, but we'll attach the metal to that side. And then once you've got that, you can start working on your base, which is essentially a piece of plywood with some additional 2x3s attached just as rails. And then at the end you've got some stoppers, and they're about 1 inch thick. And then of course the hinges are attached to the base here, and those are from Amazon. You can get like 20 pairs for like $14.99 or something. And so essentially, if you're going to do the next step, you want to do the base, you can just throw this down, trace it out, or measure it to appropriate length, and then you're going to throw on some more of this 2x3. As you can see, it's a little bit thinner than a 2x4, but it works just perfectly. And height-wise, 2x4 would be way too high, too close to the heat, it actually would be farther away. And so in the final stage, on top of this is a ½ inch plywood, and on top of that is going to be a small piece of this corrugated roofing. I got like this plus whatever I put on there already for $4. It's enough to make 3 of them. Simple to cut with this is angle grinder. Got that from Harbor Freight for like $10, and cutoff wheel. And just remember to grind your ends because there's sharp ends after you cut it. You're just going to cut it going across, straight across like that after drawing a pencil mark. And then we come and attach that with some flat wood screws. Probably about, looks like about 5 of them. And then doesn't have to be the full length because it's really just keeping this up off the food so there's air circulating underneath it, so it doesn't have to be the full width. And so this does fold up like I mentioned. The whole thing weighs. Okay. You can set that down. Store it for the winter. So these last step would be making these drying racks. And of course it's made out of this I think it's 1/2 inch by 1 inch. And once again, this stainless steel was food grade, and it's 18 gauge 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch holes. And the downside of it, I bent it so that if it's at an angle, you don't accidentally do the angle too steep and the food falls off. So this will catch it from falling off if you happen to put the angle too high. And I just put it in with some staples. Basically, they're 3/8 inch staples, and you could probably use nails or screws with washers on them. And then the final step was to put the hinges on everything, put it all together, and add the legs. And the legs were pretty simple to make. They're all 22, and 22, so 3 pieces of 22 inch 2x3s. Put the hinge on, and pretty much ready to go. Okay, and